my family by exposing all my mom's lies, but now I wish I could just take it all back. So let's start out with something she actually was honest about. For my entire life, I have known that my dad was not my biological dad. He met my mom when I was a year old. They got married when I was 2, and now I have a few younger siblings, but again, it's just like he's my dad, even though he isn't my biological dad. But just because I'm not his biological daughter doesn't mean he treats me any differently. It is just like he is my biological dad. He treats me the exact same way he treats any of my siblings. Honestly, most of the time, I don't even really remember that he's not my biological dad. He's the best guy in the entire world, and we're so close. My mom always told me that she got pregnant in her early 20s with some guy's baby that she was casually seeing, and when she went to tell him that she was pregnant, he completely flipped out, said he wanted nothing to do with her or the baby, and blocked her on everything, like fully ghosted, could not get in contact with this man. She said he actually ended up changing his number, so she had no way to get into contact with him, even though she's tried. All she had was his name, which was very, very generic. So she had tried over the years to find him and never had any luck. She told me that she's actually never changed her phone number just in case one day he decides that he did want to reach out and meet me, but he's never made that choice. And even though I did have an amazing family and a perfect dad, it was always so hard for me just to realize that my biological dad was out there. He knew I existed and he just wanted nothing to do with me. Like, how does he know I'm just out there and he doesn't care? It's just always made me feel like there was a part of me that I didn't even know. And I talked about this with my mom and my dad all the time, and they were always so good about talking about it with me and understanding where I'm coming from and just supporting and comforting me. A few months ago, I was talking to my aunt, my mom's sister, about all of this, and she was just being really weird, like trying to avoid the subject, and I didn't really understand why. I was like, okay, wait, what's going on? And finally, she's like, I feel like maybe you should do one of those DNA tests and try and figure out this whole situation for yourself, which was super confusing to me because I was like, okay, the man clearly doesn't want to meet me, so why would I do a test, find out who he is, and then just be even more upset? My aunt just says, listen, I love you. I want the best for you. I just need you to trust me. Go do the test. Just see what happens. And the really weird part is she tells me that she doesn't think that I should say anything to my parents about it, which I tell my parents everything. So this was super weird. I just knew something was up, but I listened to her and I did it. I went and did one of those DNA ancestry tests and I waited for my results. And when my results finally got back, I have a match on my dad's side. It is my dad's sister, so my paternal aunt. And when I reach out to her, she is absolutely shocked. Needless to say, she had no idea I existed, which wasn't a surprise to me because if you plan to completely abandon your child and want nothing to do with her, why would you tell your family that, okay? You didn't want anything to do with me, so why would you even let your family know I existed? But she's adamant about the fact that her brother would never do that. He would never just abandon his child. So she's like, I need to talk to him and I'll get back to you. And within the hour, I get a phone call from my biological father. After years of not even knowing who he was, he's calling me on the phone with a name that is not the name that my mom gave me. And the man is absolutely beside himself on the phone. He's telling me that he had absolutely no idea that I existed and that if he knew, he would have been there for me for my entire life. And you just can't fake that level of emotion. I could tell by his tone that he was telling the truth. He had no idea that I existed and that my mom must have just been lying to me for my entire life. So I immediately go right to my parents' house. I sit them down and tell them everything that's happened. And I'm like, how could you both lie to me about this for my entire life? But I see the look on my dad's face. My dad was lied to too. He had no idea. My dad's looking at her, just asking her what's going on, if this was all true. And my mom is just sobbing. And finally she said, I'm sorry, just started apologizing and said he was a lot more successful than me and I didn't want to risk custody of you. What? Basically, she didn't want to deal with a custody battle with him, so she just didn't tell him that she was pregnant. Just completely lied to him, kept him in the dark, and then lied to me and my dad my entire life and just said that he didn't want me. What? So obviously I'm feeling completely betrayed, but my dad's also feeling completely betrayed because he's been there supporting me through all of this my entire life, and she's just been a liar the whole time, everything she said to us. Now, I don't even know how I'm ever going to trust my mom again, and apparently my dad feels the same way because he's moved out, and all of my younger siblings are so angry at me because they think all of this is my fault. And I know that she was the liar, but in a way, I feel responsible because if I just would have left well enough alone, left my good family situation as it is, it would have just been ignorance is bliss. You know what I mean? Like, I could have just gone on living my life with my happy family and none of this would have been an issue. But I had to do it. I had to figure it out. I had to dig into it. And now this is a huge issue. And I don't even know where to go from here with my parents, with my biological dad, with my siblings. It's just all gotten so messy.